National Consumer Protection Week. And the Better Business Bureau is putting out their annual Scam Tracker Risk Report. That's going to be coming out next week. And, well, it's exactly what it sounds right. I mean, it's going to tell us about some of the scams that are being perpetrated that you hear about each week here. It's going to tell you who is being targeted. And here to tell us about the annual Scam Tracker Risk Report is Nancy Cahalen of our own local Better Business Bureau. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it's not too bad out there. I think we'll muddle through if this is the worst we get this winter. So
exactly. I mean, here we are on the 28th. If this is all that we end up with, we've done okay. That's for sure. Old Mother Nature scamming us out of a winter this year.
That's one way to look at it. Yeah, I'm really excited to see the Scam Tracker Risk Report for last year. I think it's tomorrow. It's released internally within the Better Business Bureau, so I'll get the high points then. But we have some early indicators. FTC has released some data that suggests that consumers have lost $8.8 billion in 2022. That's a 30% increase over the previous year. So I can't wait to see what our data has to say and which scams were reported most to us and which ones people lost the most money to. So it's unbelievable. The scam industry is very, it's going strong, and consumer education is how we can address that. So that's why I'm so thankful that you have me on weekly to talk about scams.
Well, we're thankful that you're here too. What's funny is you were just saying that, Nancy. I'm going, boy, I'd love it if you could break it down to like central Massachusetts and the Worcester area, because I feel that we're pretty well protected because of your weekly visits, and then you put them up on your site, on your social media. We do the same to try and just keep it uppermost in mind. And I know that this is true for many of our listeners because I hear from them, but it's true for me too. It has now become second nature for me sometimes of, hold on a second. This little voice in the back of my head. Wait a minute. Is this on the up and up? And for folks in other areas of the country, they may not have that, because I was surprised when you told me that it was a 30% increase over the previous year.
I can't believe it, but it's the FTC and their information. It comes from something called the Consumer Sentinel. So it's not just complaints reported directly to FTC. It includes Better Business Bureau's complaints because we report into the FTC for this. It includes law enforcement and many other sources of information. So I feel pretty confident in that there has been a huge increase. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about one scam that lost $250,000 for one individual. So their study also says that the number of scams is down, and but the scammers are being more effective. So
when they get you, they get you for a big amount.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
So and businesses, they care a lot about this too, because that's $8.8 billion that was pocketed by fraudsters that consumers don't have to spend with honest businesses.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal for everybody.
Yeah, think about that. That is a great point. That person is out his $250,000, or you're out your $400 or $500 if something were to happen to you, or whatever that amount is. You're not going out there and spending that at any of your local stores or merchants or mail order because you just got scammed. No, absolutely.
Yeah, and it does also affect consumer confidence. So they're a lot more hesitant to buy online or things, which is good. But there are also other honest businesses that do business online as well. So what can consumers do to avoid these types of crimes? And I have a list here. We'll blow through it. Nothing should be new. You should have all heard these things before. But when someone you have not met asks you to send them money, Hank, what do we do?
I gotta tell you that the first thing that I do is the red flags go up, and I say, hold on, I need to protect myself. If I am going to do it, I'm definitely going to do it with a credit card. But I'm not sending anybody money. And you know what else? If somebody says, and hey, I need you to go out and pay for this by buying a gift card, I'm definitely not doing that.
Right. Don't do it. Never click on links or attachments in unsolicited emails or texts. So if we're not doing business with those people, that's probably spammy, malware. It's nothing good is going to happen from clicking on those links. So don't do it. Don't trust the legitimacy of something just by the way it looks. It's so easy nowadays with technology to phony up emails and websites. And look really on the up and up. Mm-hmm. And so don't just trust the way it looks. You need to do some research. And don't trust your caller ID either, because that can be fake to read anything that the crook wants it to read. It could say, honest so-and-so's, scam emporium. But it's really, don't trust it. And isn't this awful? BBB, our slogan is, our motto is start with trust. And now we're saying, start with don't trust. So don't trust things on face value. Look deeper and do your research. Look up companies that you're unfamiliar with. You can look them up at bbb.org. Treat your personal information like it's solid gold. Don't give it away. We had 1 week we talked about the dark web and the price list for all your bits of personal information. It's all very valuable to the scammers.
Yeah, no, very, very true. I mean, as you just said, you've really got to treat your personal identification information. Sometimes we are very lax with that, and we're just giving that away. And one thing that you always tell us about, too, and one way in which they were able to, start getting more money out of people is it's all this high pressure right now, right? I mean, they hammer you so that you feel that you've got to act in the moment and that's what they want you to do. They don't want to give you time to stop and think about it.
Absolutely. So they use fear tactics. They use other ways to pressure you. And the pandemic was, that was ideal for them because everybody was a little on edge anyway. So they need everybody to act quickly because they didn't want to give them time to think about it or do their research. Don't overshare on social media. Con artists collect a lot of good information on social media to make you think that you know them. And so don't overshare. And monitor your accounts. So make sure you keep an eye on your account. So if you are using the credit card, check the statement. And even if it's a tiny amount that you're not familiar with, sometimes con artists start with a small amount to see if you'll notice it. And then they come back for the big score.
Yes, absolutely. Nancy, all of these, and as you said, none of this should be new to faithful listeners, because these are all the tips that we know about and that we should have ingrained in us at this point. Nancy, people want to get in touch with you. Best way to be able to do that?
Well, a lot of this information is available 24/7 at bbb.org, or you can call me directly at 508-552-0350, and I'll put you in touch with the right person that will help you for your particular scenario.